do. Right. Everyone, please say it 3 times.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So, good evening to everyone. Today is the 18th day of our meditation program. So, today too, as usual, we are going to practice, the old students, they are going to practice the 3rd step of breathing meditation. And the new students, if there is any, they are going, I will instruct, they will practice the 1st step of breathing meditation. So there are 2 things that you need to pay attention when you practice if you want to succeed in meditation. So the first thing is we should understand the technique properly, and the very same practice that we do, if we do it correctly, it can help us immensely. So the Buddha said, Dhammo have rakkati dhammachara. That means those who practice the Dhamma, they are protected by the very practice that they do. You don't need bodyguards or anyone to protect you. So the very practice that you do, it can help you immensely. So if you are mindful in your daily life, then what happens is you can finish things properly. You can finish things properly, right? So when you start, you mindfully start. When you continue, you mindfully continue. When you end, you mindfully end. So in the middle, at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. At all these 3 important occasions, since you are mindful, you finish it well. So we need to understand the technique properly when we practice. That's number 1. Then after that, number 2 is the people that we associate, it can also help us. So if we associate people who are good friends that always rejoice in positive actions. So sometimes we might meet people who don't rejoice in positive actions, right? Let's say, for an example, you are going to give something to a poor person. Then there are people who don't like that, right? Then they'll say, why you are giving to that person? That person also has hands. That person also has legs. Let that person earn whatever that person earn. Don't help. Then you will corrupt. You will corrupt that person. So there are people like that. Even though it's a nice thing that we do, there are people who obstruct. So when you practice meditation too, there are so many people. There are some friends sometimes that we meet who don't encourage us, instead who discourage us. So even though how much scientifically it's proven that this helps us immensely, even though we feel it, still there are people uh, who discourage us. So so understanding the technique properly and the good friendship, these two things, noble friendship, these two things can help us to improve in our meditation technique. So uh, little story. In India, long time ago, thousands of years ago, uh, in one parrot's family, there were two kids, two small parrots. Two small parrots were born, parrot babies. Then a strong wind came, and both these two parrot kids, they were uh, they were gone with the wind, and one baby parrot fell into a place where there were robbers, and the other parrot, baby parrot, it fell into a place where there were sadhus. Sadhus means so those days they were not so at that time there was no Buddhist teaching too, but still there were spiritual people in India. They were called as sadhus. So in the forest, they lived moral lives, practicing samatha meditations, concentration meditation. So one of them fell into a place where such kind of people, sadhus. Were. One day the king, of that country, he wanted to go for hunting. So though even today, not everywhere now, but even today there are people who go for hunting. So that's their fun, even though how harmful it is for many beings. So this king went for the hunting sport, and finally he lost the way, and he lost the way inside the jungle, inside the forest, and he was walking uh, all by himself. And then first of all, he saw the place where these robbers were. He didn't know that that is the place of the robbers, and the robbers have gone outside to rob or to do something. There was only the parrot. When the parrot saw the king, it started shouting, "Oh, here there's a man with a lot of gold, a man with a lot of valuable things. Come, take him, catch him, kill him, and steal everything." The parrot loudly shouted. So loudly shouted, and the king was so scared. He was alone all by himself, and then he ran away. And he ran away, and then he reached the second spot, the place where the sadhus were. And then sadhus were not there too. And then they have gone to collect food with their balls for the lunchtime. So there was only the parrot. And the parrot saw this person, this king, and shouted. Actually, shouted means it welcome. It said, "Oh dear man, please come in. Welcome to the temple. Please sit down and take a rest. And please eat these fruits. And please drink this water and have a nice rest." That's what it said. Then later on, hearing that, the king felt so much relief. Then after that, what happened? The king, then the sadhus came. King asked why. Uh, so king praised. King praised this parrot, and then the sadhu said, and at the same time he told about the previous baby parrot, the parrot too, not baby parrot, any now. So then those sadhus said, these two are brothers. And then the king asked, oh, he behaved like that when I entered their place. And this parrot behaved totally in a totally different way. What is the reason? Two brothers uh, became totally different individuals. Why both of them became totally different beings? Say then the sadhu said the reason is association. Association. You get influenced by the people that you associate. The first parent, it always associated with robbers. So it doesn't know anything about the meaning about those words. But those words, what it uttered, they were the words that robbers used. So it memorized all those words, and whenever it saw the king, it uttered the very same words that the robbers uttered. So the second parrot, it became good because of the good association. So whenever it noticed how sadhus treat the other people when they enter the temple, so it memorized all those words and it imitated those words, the good words. So we can get influenced by the others. So always, first thing is we should know the practice well. We should understand the technique well, and we need to practice right in the right manner. Then second thing is the association. Always, it's a fortune if we have nice, good friends around us who encourage us in practice. So such people are rare, but good if you have any, at least one. So if you have such kind of friend, please keep that friendship forever, right? With those thoughts, we are going to start today's practice. So today too, the the old students, they are going to practice the third step of breathing meditation. You are going to pay your entire attention to the small triangular area. Whatever the sensations that pop up within that smaller triangular area, you are going to observe and recognize. So you are going to be aware about each and every sensation that you can feel within this small triangular area. Give your entire attention. Give your complete attention. With a very calm mind, keep on observing. If you don't feel any sensation, at least try to feel. Don't feel frustrated. Instead, at least try to feel the touch of the breath. That is also a sensation. So like in that way, please, all students, keep on practicing. If there is any new student, you are kindly instructed to observe the normal natural breath. When the breath is coming in, don't try to change it. Let it come naturally, let it go naturally. When it is coming in, be aware that it is coming in. When it is going out, be aware that it is going out. If it is soft, if it is gross, if it is long, if it is short, just be aware according to their own nature. Don't favor any breath. Don't hate the gross breath, and don't try to crave for soft breaths. Treat all those breaths in the same way. Try to do so. And with the balance of your mind, very patiently, keep on observing the breath as they really are. Don't try to change it. Let them come naturally. Let those breaths go out naturally. Keep on observing. Now, everyone, keep a good posture. Please make your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Close your eyes. Relax yourself. First of all, I'm going to pay our respect to the Buddha, and then we are going to start meditation practice. Please calm down, relax. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vinyācarana sampanno sungato lokamido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sata deva manussanam muto bhagavati Swakato bhagavata dhammo sannitthiko akaliko ehi passiko opanayiko paccattam meditammo vinyuhiti supanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Unyubani panno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyaya pati panno bhagavato savaka sangho Samichi pati panno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadinam chantari purisayugani Ate purise pungala Ise bhagavato savaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Nakineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punya kettam lokasati Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with a very alert, very attentive mind, balanced and equanimous mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. Please start your meditation. If you are practicing the first step of breathing meditation, please do so. If you are practicing the third step of breathing meditation, please keep on practicing. Whatever the meditation technique that you are doing right now, may that meditation practice be very successful, very successful. May you feel solace, may you feel peace, may you feel happiness. With those thoughts, with that wish, everyone, please start the meditation right now. Please start. Now, all students, please keep the posture in the same manner. New students, they can relax their legs, but keep the eyes closed. Please keep the eyes closed. For students, they won't change the posture. New students, they can change their posture, the legs, but not the eyes. Keep it closed. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation in brief. In brief. Let's share our loving kindness first of all with ourselves. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. Very peaceful. Spread loving kindness towards yourself. Now please think of your parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Me, my mom and dad, my teachers, my relatives, and friends. Be well. Be happy. Be very peaceful. Be very peaceful. Spread loving kindness towards the parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Now please spread loving kindness towards the people in the middle. The people who are not related to you, who are not your relatives or friends, at the same time who are not enemies. May all the people in the middle be well, be happy, be peaceful. Those who are neutral, may all those people who are in the middle be well, be happy, be peaceful. Be very peaceful. Now please spread loving kindness towards your enemies. First of all, please forgive them for their wrong actions. Secondly, please ask forgiveness by mine. by mind, please ask forgiveness for the blunders, for the hurtful things that you did against them. May all my enemies also be well. May they also be happy. May they also be very peaceful. Spread loving kindness towards the enemies. Now let's think about all the beings in the world. Not only human beings, the animals and the fish and all kinds of visible, invisible beings. May all beings share my love, my kindness. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful, very peaceful. Spread loving kindness towards all the beings. All. Now, everyone, very calmly, and very slowly, please open your eyes. Relax, relax. Now, please join your palms together and say 3 times. Sadhu,
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 Sadhu.
sadhu.
Dear Dhamma friends, so on the month of May, as I mentioned earlier, so on the month of May, we are going to start the practice of Vipassana. So just like you create, you build a pagoda. So in the pagoda, so there's a pinnacle. When you end, the works of the pagoda, there's a pinnacle. And so when you put the pinnacle on the top of that pagoda, then it's a complete pagoda. Until you don't put the pinnacle on the top of that pagoda is not done. It's not complete. Just like that, this very meditation practice, uh, if we compare it to pagoda, its pinnacle is vipassana meditation. So, but to practice vipassana meditation, we need a lot of concentration, a lot of calmness, and we need to develop more patience and at the same time sensibility, ability to sense. So now the meditators who are practicing the third step of breathing meditation, they now practice that. They are practicing that very practice. So you observe all kinds of sensations. So all kinds of sensations within the small triangle area. Later, during the Vipassana time, we are going to observe the whole body from top to bottom and bottom to top. So for that, this is a foundation. So when we start practicing Vipassana meditation, that is the pinnacle of the practice. So now this is the second week of April. And how many weeks remaining for month of May? Only 3 weeks remaining. So please practice very ardently, very ardently. So pinnacle, time is coming to put the pinnacle on the top of your pagoda, meditation pagoda. So today I'm going to teach you about strong mind. Last week I told you about one friend that can help you and that can help you to develop in meditation practice. The first friend is willingness. Willingness is the first friend. In those days language, we call it chanda. Chanda, willingness. It's a good friend. Today I'm going to teach you about the second good friend that can help you develop in meditation practice. This friend is called as Vihara. In English, we can say strong mind. So, sorry, chitta. Chitta means strong mind. Chanda, the number 2, chitta, in Pali language, that means strong mind. We need strong mind in practice. So if the mind is shaky like this, it's hard to practice. So I really appreciate there are now at least around 5 to 10 meditators who diligently practice. One meditator is enough. If you have 10 meditators, that's wonderful. And it's a very great happiness for the teacher too. Oh, at least by this teaching, 10 people get the benefit. So maybe maybe all the people won't be able to practice well. But there are wise people in this world. There are people who have strong will to develop. People, according to our abilities, so the concentration level that we achieve, it differs. That's why having the will is the most important. So if you have the will, to see such kind of people is a great happiness. It's a great happiness, great privilege. So I'm glad you are practicing daily, or sometimes you might miss several days. That's fine. At least continuously you practice. That's nice. To see that it's a nice thing. It's a sign that you have some strong mind. Some strong mind. But this is the beginning point of strong mind. You need to develop it more. We need to develop it more. Not only it will help your spiritual life, it can help your daily life too. So it can bring ease, it can bring happiness, it can bring solace, and it can bring prosperity for you in your daily life too, if you have a strong mind. So, um, strong mind, as I mentioned, it is very important in the practice. Let me tell you several stories of certain people who had this strong mind. During the Buddha's time, there was uh, uh, a ship. A ship broke in the ocean. Only a few people could save themselves uh, because they were good swimmers. Among them, one person, one person swam and finally came to a shore, and then he found out that he doesn't have anything to wear. All his clothes were gone. He looked here and there, and then he didn't see anything to find. He didn't find any house close by. It was a dense forest. So what he did, he took barks of trees, and then he mended all those uh, so barks of trees together, and then created created he himself created a dress, and he used to wear this. And people saw him. As I mentioned earlier, there were sadhus at that time. They wore various kinds of dresses. People thought that he is a sadhu. He is sadhu because he is dressing not like the other people. So since he was in the mid of the forest, they thought that he was practicing meditation for a long time. Only he knew the real. So they started respecting him and offering him a lot of things. Uh, so he led a very comfortable life. One day, one of his friends, got to know about this. He went to this person and said, Sadhu, only by wearing this kind of stuff, you can't become a sadhu. Only by eradicating negativities, cultivating positivity, purifying your mind, you can become a sadhu. Hearing this, his name, now his name, his actual name was Bahir, but since he wore this peculiar dress with barks, he was called as Bahir Daruchirya. Daruchirya means the person who wear a cloth with barks. So then after that, what happened? Uh, he was shocked hearing this. Now he realized that he did a big blunder by by faking his identity as a sadhu, a pure person. Sadhu means a pure person, a person who is purified. So he asked his friend, where can I find a teacher who can teach me the way to achieve this? Then he said, his friend said, sir, you can go to the north of the country. Then you will find Magad. Magad, the kingdom called Magad. So if you go, if you continuously go, then it takes 3 days. then if not, it will take at least a week if you only walk during the daytime and if you rest during the night time. So then Bahya, he felt so much guilt. At the same time, he had one thing, strong mind. So he decided that he will walk continuously to Magad. Magad is currently Bihar, and so uh, so so he walked to Bihar 3 days through day and night. He walked continuously 3 days. He only stayed to eat something. That's it. To bake something and eat. That is the only time that he rested. All the other times he continuously walked. He walked and walked and walked and finally reached Magadha. And then at that time, the Buddha, when he came to the temple, Jetanaram temple, he got to know that Buddha has gone for alms. So it is the culture of those days, Bandev, and today too. Bandev, so they go from home to home, so to practice humbleness. And there are so many things that we can develop by that practice. So, uh, so they for food they go to lay people's houses with a bowl. So he heard that Buddha also went with an alms bowl to go from house to house for food. Uh, the other monks asked him to wait and rest, but he said no. Who knows what will happen at the next moment? I have to go. He again walked all the way to the place where the Buddha was. Then he came to met the Buddha and asked the Buddha to teach him. Oh Buddha, he with folded arms, he said, "Oh Buddha, please teach me." Buddha saw him and and told him, "This is the lifetime. It is not good for Bantes, any Bante, any teacher to teach when they are having the lunch." But Bahya was so much impatient. He told, "Oh Buddha, I walked all the way from this particular so beach area, so coastal area to Bihar for 3 days, for 3 days continuously. Day and night I walk to meet you. Please teach me." So teach me how to come out of all the negativities and how to develop, how to cultivate all the positivity, and so how to purify my mind. Then Buddha again told the same thing. Buddha wanted to teach him, but he saw that he is impatient. So if you teach for the impatient person, that person cannot understand. So at the second time, he cooled down somewhat. When Buddha refused for the third time, his impatience went away and he calmed down his mind. When he requested to teach him at the third time, then Buddha taught him. He gave a very small teaching. If you saw something, you saw it. You can't see it twice. If you hear something, you heard it. You can't hear it twice. If you felt something, you felt it. You can't feel it twice. That's it. Because he had this, Buddha saw that he has this very strong mind. So he had a very strong concentration inside. So that's it. Only he had to teach Vipassana in brief. He was, Bahya Darukiriya was such an extraordinary wise person. He understood all the teaching with those 3 sentences. Practice at that very spot, and became enlightened. And so, but before that, so before the third time, he told the Buddha that he is not sure about the life too. So he's told that we don't know about our life. Anytime, I don't know whether I'll live in the next moment. I don't know how much time I have left. So please teach me. He told at that time, calming himself down. Actually, Buddha checked, and so he has only a limited time. That's why Buddha taught, another reason that Buddha taught him. So in the evening, what happened? So those days, cows were wandering everywhere in Indian streets. Even today, if you go to rural areas, you have cows. So among these cows, there are mad cows too. One of such kind of cow hit him in the evening and attacked him. And in the evening, Bahidarchili passed away. He passed away as an enlightened person. So whenever the Buddha got the news, the Buddha went to see his body and asked everyone to cremate him. So asked everyone to cremate him and then make a pagoda. Make a pagoda. So the other people asked, "Oh, this is a layperson. Why should we create a pagoda for him?" Then Buddha said, even though he has a lay appearance, he's an enlightened person. So they cremated him, and with those ashes, so they created a pagoda to pay respect to Bahi Darshi. So strong mind helped him immensely. So, but that's a very strong mind. So to reach that level, we have to practice gradually. At least for now, let's have small, strong minds. Let's practice certain things. One thing, you have already started to do that. So one thing that you do is, all students, they were asked to stay throughout the meditation time without changing the posture. True, you will feel a little pain when it's after like 20 minutes, so you might start thinking, so you start becoming impatient. You think, oh, maybe Bhante has gone deeper into meditation and he has forgotten time. Maybe it's already more than 30 minutes. So I should hold Bhante. Let me open my eyes. Let me open my legs. This is unbearable. So sometimes you feel like that. So, but staying, keep on staying, and so so keep on developing the patience and keep on developing the strong mind. So it helps you. Then another one, strong mind with loving kindness. This happened in Sri Lanka. Previous stories from India, now the neighbor, Sri Lanka. This happened in Sri Lanka thousands of years ago. In a rural village, there was one forest monk. There were many people in this village, and one person who had some money, who was somewhat rich, he thought of supporting this monk. He told this monk, please, Bhante, please keep on practicing as you practice. As you practice, I am going to provide you clothes, that means ropes. I'm going to provide you food. I'm going to provide you medication. I'm going to help you to build the temple. That means, so not big temples like this. So small, so our temple is not big too. Okay, small kuti, small hut, right? Small hut. So I'll take care of these four. Please keep on practicing. Then one those days their clothes were not that much easy to gain. So sometimes people had one cloth or two clothes. So that's the reality. So, but this person could afford one robe every year. So he offered one robe once a year. Somebody else also noticed this robe. That was a robber. On the very day, so there is an exact day this person was used to offer the robe. On that very day at night, this robber comes and steals the robe, takes the robe to. So for 3 years, this person gave robes, offered robes, and after 3 years, the person who offered robes, that donor, noticed that Bhante is wearing the same old red robe. He can't see him using the new robe. So he thought, oh, this is Bhante, and he can't be greedy. He may not be saving the robes. So I should check. So he went to the Bhante and asked why he is not wearing the new robes. And then Bhante, he understood what's going on, but he didn't want. So that robber was a neighbor, and he didn't want. If he tells something, then there is going to be a big conflict. So, Bhante kept silent. Then this, then this donor thought, I should not make the Bhante tired asking questions. So I should check what's going on. For the first year too, on the very same day, he offered the robe. And at that night, the donor stayed hiding closer to the thing. The robber, he made sure that Bhante got the robe. At night, he came to rob the robe. The donor, who stayed hiding, he called the robber, and not only that, he gave a good good massage for this robber. That is by hands and legs, and then after that, robber fell down and he was bleeding and injured, and then the donor said, I'm going to teach you a good lesson for the suffering that Bhante endured because of you throughout these 3 years. He took this person to the burial ground. Those days in Asian countries, so there was a burial ground. People didn't bury the bodies. Instead, they just in that ground they threw away the body and came, because they believed it should go for vultures, and for them to eat. Sometimes they threw away the bodies and came. So he brought this person to this burial ground. This is not practiced everywhere now in Asia, but this is practiced in Tibet, right, nowadays, but not in other countries. If you want to know more, you can Google. So then what happened? he tied this injured robber with the dead body, and went to the villagers and told that there is tonight a devil will come, a naked devil will come with a dead body on at its back. It will say, I am your son, I'm your husband, and I am your this relative, that relative, this friend and that friend. Don't open the doors. Keep the doors closed after after the dark, after the evening. So he went to all the houses and knocked. No, everyone, whenever they heard the noise, they they closed the doors very tight. They thought the devil has come. Finally, there was only one place to go, to the temple. He knocked and Bhante opened the door. Whenever Bhante saw he's bleeding all the way, and he had this dead body on his back. He untied the knots and released him, and then applied traditional Ayurvedic oil, and then in the morning, and gave him some. He didn't have lay clothes. He gave some rope, one of his rope, and old rope, rag rope, and then he was treating this robber in the morning. When the donor went to the temple, the donor asked, Bhante, what are you doing? This is the very robber who robbed your robe for 3 years. Why are you applying it? That Bhante, uh, that Bhante told this donor, even though the dog bites your leg, you don't bite the dog's leg. Even though the dog bites your leg, you are not going to bite the dog's leg every time. You always have to develop strong loving kindness towards each and everyone. That one said, even though I am not going to develop hatred towards anybody, even though someone cuts my hands and legs, or even though someone kills time. Robert heard, so then that donor, he venerated the Bhante and helped the Bhante to apply oil and massage the robber. The robber changed, hearing these words. Then finally, he decided. He gave up his robbery, right? And went to Bhante and asked him to teach him to develop such kind of strong mind with loving kindness. So Bhante, with the permission of his family members, he ordained this robber and taught him the very same techniques that I teach you. And finally, he also became an enlightened monk. He was famous in Sri Lanka at that time as Bhante Harantik. Later on, he became a good teacher for many students. The very robber. So strong mind with love and kindness. So maybe you don't have that much such kind of level of loving kindness, but gradually they were human beings too. They started in the same way. We are human beings too. We started in the same way. Still, we are beginners. Let's continue. Let's continue and practice ardently, and let's develop this strong mind inside us. So it will start with this strong So sitting with determination, and then you will develop it with policies. You will think, whatever it happens, I'm not going to harm the other people. Whatever it happens, I'm not going to develop hatred towards it. Whatever it happens, I'm going to share my love and kindness with everyone, not only with family members, with everyone, with everyone. So like that, you will gradually develop strong minds. Whatever the calamities will come because everything is impermanent. The world is changing, but you will be able to stay just like so. So just like a strong pillar. So when the whatever the wind it comes, if there is a strong pillar, it doesn't shake, right? Winds come and go, the pillar stays the same. Just like a well-built, well-established pillar. Whatever the calamities come throughout your life, you will live with happiness, you will live with peace, and you will live with calmness. So develop your strong mind up to that level. Little by little. They also went in the same way. You are going in the same way too. So please practice Vihara. That's it. So now everyone please think. Today all of us got together and practice this pure meditation technique and accumulated a lot of positive energy. We share this positive energy among all of us. Practicing the Dhamma path, let's wish by the power of all this positive energy. May all our difficulties be away. May all the good things happen in our lives. And practicing the Dhamma path, finally, may all of us attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. With those thoughts, everyone, please join your palms together to get the final blessings. Please close your eyes and concentrate. Abhivadan silisse nichang vada pachayu Chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me bache ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjato. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
Right. Good night to everyone. I wish that may all of you be well, all of you be happy, all of you be very, very peaceful. Sukhi. Sukhi. Good night to everyone. Good night, Mr. Bhanu.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you.
Good night. Good night, Mr. Huad.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you.
May you be happy. Ms. Tui, good night.
Hi, Sadhu. Thank you.
Okay, good night, Mrs. Diane. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhante. Thank you.
Mrs. Delaney, good night.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Jaime, buenos noches.
Good night. Buenas noches, Bhante.
Buenos
Gracias.
noches, good night. And Meena, good night. Miss Meena. Right. Good night to everyone. May all of you be happy.